Nesrin?
Ne zaman oldu?
Hoşça kal. Çabuk toparlan.
Nereye
gidiyoruz?
Annem kaybolmuş.
Nesi varmış?
Bir sinirsel hastalık olabilir, nörolojik.
Eve gideceğim. Hiçbir yere gitmiyorsun.
Rahatla uğraşacağım annemle.
Kim bu?
Torunun?
Günlerdir çocuğu merak ediyorum. Niye söylemiyorsun? Karışma.
Çocuğum Murat'ı arıyorum, okulda mı?
O gibi durumlarda onu sakinleştirip hatta bir yandan da kendinizi de sakinleştirip.
Dur. Anne sakin ol.
Hey guys, so today I want to talk about the movie Pandora's Box, or Pandora'nın Kutusu. This movie came out in 2008, it's about 2 hours long, it was written and directed by Yaseem Ustalu, and it stars Scylla Shelton as Nusret. Now, Nusret is a really old woman living in a mountain village in the Black Sea region. And she has memory problems, and one day she wanders off and gets lost. So her three children, Nesrin, Guzen, and Mehmet, all take a road trip to go find their lost mother. And as they're on their road trip, that's where Pandora's Box gets opened.
Ne oluyor?
Hadi
Nereye
çabuk, annem
gidiyoruz ya?
kaybolmuş. Nesin aşağıda bekliyor arabayla.
They all start arguing about typical sibling things like
Kendi kiranı ödemekten bile
who
aciz.
their
Şimdi bana bunu
parents'
erken
favorite
kesip durma.
was, who was going to grow up to become the most successful, and typical things that siblings would argue about when they have no space and too much time on their hands.
Terbiyesizlik etme. Ne biçim konuşuyorsun benimle?
Mehmet kes sesini.
Emir verip durma sen de ya.
Kimseye emir verdiğim yok.
Veriyorsun, herkese veriyorsun. Murat Hakkı hocana, bana herkese emir veriyorsun.
Bana bak. Murat bensiz hayatında bir adım attı mı acaba?
Ödün kopuyor değil mi Murat bana benzeyecek diye?
Evet. Murat'ın senin gibi parazit olduğunu görmektense öleyim daha iyi.
Başlamış.
And so eventually they do find their mom and they take her back to Istanbul, which is a terrible idea.
Dolayısıyla her türlü
They take her to a
zorluğa
doctor and they find out that she has Alzheimer's, which confirms her memory problems, but just because her Alzheimer's is confirmed doesn't make life any easier. In fact, it's really hard for everybody involved. There's a lot of screaming and shouting and just wanting to give up between all three of the siblings and Nusret, who is confused about why she's in Istanbul and who these adults that are taking care of her are. And you know, throughout the movie, she hasn't quite come to grips with modern Istanbul, basically. But what's interesting is that her grandson Murat relates to her on a completely different level that her kids just don't. Murat is the son of Nesrin, and he is also kind of lost. He's, youthfully lost. He doesn't quite know what he wants to do with his life. He doesn't know where he wants to go, who he wants to hang out with, what he wants to do. And he pairs very well with his grandmother Nusret, who is physically lost because she has Alzheimer's. She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know who
Hatırlama, boş ver.
most people are. It's a very interesting pairing between the two. You know, it's a kind of this generational divide, but they connect a lot. And Murat decides that he's going to help her out by force. He takes Nusret and they go on this journey together back to their village. And it's incredibly sweet, and it's just this touching bond between grandson and grandmother. Now, what's pretty interesting is that Istanbul is shown in this really gritty and almost dark light that it's not really shown in most movies. I mean, it's like hyper-realistic. And it really pairs well with the theme that urban life is very complicated and rural life is more simple and charming than people give it credit for. And that's really evidenced by Nusret's village, because it is shown aesthetically very well. I mean, it seems very charming. It's not definitively known which village it is. We know that it's in the Black Sea region, but it could be anywhere between Trabzon, Rize, Amasya. It could be plenty of places, but we know that it's just in the Black Sea region. Now, finally, what's pretty interesting is that Scylla Chelton isn't even Turkish. She's actually French, and she had to learn Turkish for this movie. And she does a really great job of adding kind of this deadpan humor and like also the seriousness and respectability to the role, and that you're really convinced that she has Alzheimer's. There's no doubting it or second guessing it. She really sells it, but she can't help but make you chuckle throughout the movie. Now, stick with me next week when I'll be talking about the famous Turkish drama, The International. You're not going to want to miss this. Gule gule!